All right, moving on to number 92. Coming in with 58 points, we have Kofi Kingston. He came in on Andretti's list at number 68, and he came in on JC's list at number 76. So, Andretti, take it away.
Yeah, I'm really glad that he made it. What an incredible athlete, man. I wish they wouldn't have saddled him right out the gate with that fake accent. But he's a really decorated guy. And I don't know if people realize how decorated Kingston really is, even as a singles guy. When you go back and take a look at this, Wrestling Observer best gimmick of 2015, which is really great. I mean, that was with the New Day, of course. But when he was WWE, he's WWE champion. He's four-time Intercontinental champion. Three-time U.S. champ. Tag team with the New Day a million times. Of course, we all know that. NXT tag champs. All these things, man. I mean, this guy is he's one of the top athletes that they've definitely had over probably the last 25 years. And I know sometimes the Royal Rumble hijinks, I think kind of whip people's ass a little bit, with doing the chair spots where he's jumping onto the chair and not really being eliminated. But for me, I actually think it's kind of cool to see that and to see somebody do something that's a little bit outside the norm of the Royal Rumble. I was a little concerned he wasn't going to get into top 100. I'm very glad that he did. I think they kind of did him dirty on that the WWE championship, the end of that belt when he finally beat Daniel Bryan. It was a big moment, and it was awesome to see that. And then I think they kind of did him a little dirty on the outbound whenever he finally dropped it.
Yeah, again, I think the body of work, even as the single start, excluding the tag stuff, you can put him in there. I mean, we didn't talk about it yet, but he's a Grand Slam champion. I mean, that doesn't happen, if you're, average. And I remember even not really being super interested in the WWE product at the time, but knowing that Kofi was champion and being interested in that. I think there's something to be said for there being, someone who exudes positivity and happiness as a draw. I mean, you see different guys who have different gimmicks and that sort of stuff, but there's something magnetic about him as a performer. And then again, sort of like with Ron Simmons, you have that extra bonus layer where he's an African American champion and he can be a model for other people on top of being a top tier athlete and a Triple Crown winner and just a consistent performer, whatever he's asked to do. So that was sort of where I put him in there for that. And yeah, man, I'm a little bit newer of a fan than some of the other guys, but he really sticks out. Even that Ruthless Aggression run. So yeah, I was consistency with that. I think is a lot of it too.
Yeah, I don't think we want to get too into the weeds with the tag team stuff, but I want to say this solely for this reason. When you talk about the top WWE tag team of all time, it's got to be either them or the Usos, right? I mean, New Day is so decorated and so beloved and sold so much merch. I mean, I would almost say that they're probably ahead of the Usos at that point.
You can't argue.
That would be the reason. That would be the reason that I didn't include Kofi. Is that even with Kofi Mania, I felt like Kofi Mania was a product strictly of the New Day. Do you know what I mean? And that was why I didn't have him personally. I'm not saying he doesn't belong on the list because look, man, he's great. But just what you said, them being such an iconic, and that the New Day is going to be something they talk about for years and years and years and years. And so for me, Kofi's a New Day guy that got hot because, like he would have stumbled himself into a run, had a hot match or two, and then there we go. And the fact that, they had Brock beat him in 8 seconds on the show that had 5 million viewers, and the debut SmackDown shows what they thought of him. But Yeah, that's another story for another. That's another
Well, it's a
story for
shame.
another time. Right. Right.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Thanks, Vin.
There was a there's a really good Raw match from May 31st, 2021, with McIntyre. That if you're looking to check out a singles match, obviously the WrestleMania match with it, Mania 35 with Daniel Bryan's obviously great, 2019. But if you're looking for something to check out this weekend, it's not super long. The Drew McIntyre Raw match, May 31st, 2021. Really good match, man. That's as good of a Raw match as you're possibly going to find. That was with the fans on the screens, and I, believe it or not, I actually kind of forgot about that already at this point. Those are memories I probably don't want to remember anymore of that the COVID era. But man, go back, watch that match. It's him and McIntyre tore the house down on Raw, and it was a really fun match.